Now, here we go. Thanks for jumping in. StreamYard's got a new cool little thing. I just found out. You can put my little intro video in the beginning. Messed up the intro, but here I am. Thanks for joining me on this Thursday afternoon about 4:30. And we're going to talk about some music today and what's on my mind. This is one of two different types of episodes I do within the show. It is just me, this microphone, you all listening, what's on my mind. And you know what? Take what you want, leave the rest. Thanks for listening. The other weeks, on opposite weeks, I have 60 to 90 minutes, got one or two guests on, and we talk about all sorts of crazy shit. I got a guy coming on that talks about trying to get rid of nuclear weapons. I got the Biking Viking coming on. I got Alex the Hammer. I got all sorts of great stuff coming up. So everything you need to know about the show and you want to keep in mind, brawpodcast.com. And if you're listening to this on audio at a later date, I go live, of course, on YouTube and Facebook. Would love for you to join me in those communities. Again, website or Facebook, you could do that. All right, going to ask you for a little bit of help real quick. If you like what I'm doing here, smash, of course, the like button on YouTube, share it, write a comment here or there, 5-star review, tell a friend or 7. And there's 3 companies that help me get along with this podcast project I got going. Links are in the show notes. There's 3 of them. They're all local communities. I love supporting local communities. Check those out. Give them complete shit for me while you're over there as well. Details, of course, down in the links below. All right, here we go. What is going on and what is on my mind today is music and how it feeds our soul. I got 2 specific stories I want to tell you about. Of course, we all understand that music is amazing for our soul, but I had a couple incidents back to back this week, and I had something else I wanted to talk to you about during this episode this week, but this kind of trumps it because all the emotions flying around with said music. All right. So I work for U-Haul. Now it's a small moving company. You might have heard of it. And I enjoy the work and I have to drive trucks around quite a bit. Now these trucks, as most of you have probably been in the U-Haul once in a while, the controls, all the stuff is analog. It's old school stuff. And this specific truck, I could not get my phone to attach Bluetooth or plug it in or any of that good stuff, right? Couldn't do it. So now I'm stuck to the dial. You know, I got to go old school with the dial. The radio is fucking garbage. There's hardly anything good on the radio anymore. But I did find an old rock and roll station. Woo! Now you're talking my language. I mean, old school rock and roll, Leonard Skinner, Bob Seger, Journey, all that good stuff, right? Love that stuff. My playlist, probably like most of y'all, is completely bipolar. I could have some pop from the 80s to heavy metal today to hard rap to classical music. I mean, it's all over the place because I love all types of music. And do I sit when yeah, I love all types of music. So I'll listen to anything, especially live, any kind of live music. If somebody's up there performing and showing off their craft, oh, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Anyway, all right. So here I am cruising down this U-Haul truck, spinning the dial, find some rock and roll. Awesome. Start feeling pretty good, singing along. I don't have any idea what the fucking lyrics are, but it sounds like I do. And tapping on the steering wheel, you know, got the thumb tapping. Put the window down, got the arm out the window. This is all right. This is all right. I got thinking, God, how does this just set my soul on fire? This is amazing. This just made me feel so good. And it lasted for like 4 songs. And then, of course, a commercial guy comes on. Well, I can't really blame it. People have bills to pay. But it was really cool to recognize the music, old school rock and roll, what it did for me. And a couple episodes ago, I had Jay on, Jay Messina, and he's a legend in the music production business. in New York City in the 70s and 80s. And he produced music like Kiss and Aerosmith, just to name a few. I mean, he's been in there so long, it's crazy. And to listen to him talk about back then when they were producing music like that, you know, the people would come in the studios and got 8 tracks and 2 tracks and 4 tracks, and you put this over here, and then you make the record and you stamp it, and he's just so passionate about it. It's just amazing to listen to him, then to hear the rock and roll, you know, and it was all kind of going together, and it was a lot of fun to recognize that. And it was fun because Jay, he was, you know, they had all sorts of stuff that they would do back in the day. And one thing he called a through the door test. So here they got a fucking band like Aerosmith in the studio, and they go, and they do all the record, you know, they do all the mix in and they get everything done, and they play it, and they call it through the door. So they play it and they go out and they shut the door. And if it still sounded good through the door, they knew they had something. Just shit like that. It was like amazing to hear it from a legend. But check him out. Jay Messina is his name. But so I get home that day and I'm talking to my wife. It's amazing, right? I talk to my wife. I enjoy talking to my wife. You should try it. No, wait a minute. Don't talk to well, you could talk to my wife. She would probably enjoy talking to you. But what I'm point is saying, I enjoy talking to my spouse. It's a lot of fun. Because one reason I brought this up, she works in a huge music theater, a big theater. They have arts, music, all the stuff, big. So I told her about what I thought, and then we got into an over an hour conversation about how music throughout history and recently heals people, makes you feel good, of course, makes you sad. I mean, it plays on all your emotions, and that people, you know, she loves classical music. So we got into history of that, and even went back further than that, and how civilizations in history and dictators and people that ran civilizations would ban certain types of music because it would play on your emotions so much. And they didn't want that. They didn't want you feeling anything, you know, and what an amazing conversation. I highly suggest you look into that. That's some crazy shit. But so through our routine, we get done, you know, doing our thing. She goes up, puts our son to bed, and I'm laying on the couch, and no phone, no music, no nothing, just completely quiet. I can hear my wife and our son in the little monitor, but we got some really neat lighting in our living room. It's just super comfortable laying there. And I got thinking about a memory. Back in the day, I was hanging out with a dude named Dave Smith. Yes, that's his real name. And solid fucking man, just a solid dude. God, he's a good dude. And he put up with a lot of shit from me because I was in a spot in my life. I was making terrible decisions all the time because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was in a bad relationship myself. I was out partying, making bad decisions. Get out of that, running around with fucking crazy women, just women that are okay. So I have a saying. It doesn't hold up well, but for sake of this conversation, I got to tell you, because it doesn't fit my situation anymore, and it just doesn't hold up well. But back in the day, I'd be like, "Hey, man, women are like cars. When you're young, you want them fast, sleek, sexy. You know, arm candy. You know, everybody wants that. As you get older, you just don't want one with a lot of trouble. Gives you a lot of trouble. Again, I know to me it doesn't hold up well. It might hold up for you, but going with that scenario, I would chase these sleek, sexy women, and they would be hauling a trailer, a fucking tractor trailer full of red flags. But I wouldn't see that because they're sexy. Oh, hey, how you doing? And of course, it turns out the way you expect it. They treat me like shit. I treated them like shit. We went back and forth, caused me a lot of shit. You know, it was nuts, crazy. So this specific time, I was in a bad spot. I was down and, emotionally I was down and stuff. And my buddy, Smitty, used to call him Smitty. Smitty at this time, we did a lot of shit together, rode motorcycles. I have a chest full of fond memories of riding motorcycles with this dude. But we were doing all sorts of crazy shit together. At this time, we were riding four-wheelers, quads, if you don't know what that is. We both had four-wheelers. And so we take off from his house. We throw some sandwiches together, a bunch of beers, and we throw them in the four-wheeler. Take off from his house because not too far from his place at the time, out in Colorado, there's these creek beds, real wide creek beds that were sand. If in dry season, they were sand, and it was super fun to ride four-wheelers and go real fast. If you crashed, well, anyway. So we're out there having a good time, and I'm burning through my emotions, and we stop, and we have some sandwiches and drinking some beers, and he says to me, "Hey, dude, I heard this song the other day, and I got thinking about you." And of course, when I'm uncomfortable, I deflect everything with humor. And I said, "Oh, boy, I didn't know we were going steady, bro." And he's like, "Fuck you, dude. This is serious. I want to talk to you about it." I said, all right. Because I have the utmost respect for this man, even though sometimes I never showed it, but I do, still do. And he says, "I heard this song, Leonard Skinner, Simple Man." Of course, I knew it, still do know it to this day. And he says, at the beginning of the lyrics, it's you. You're making bad decisions. You're in fucking a bad spot. But then as the lyrics go along, like, don't live too fast, be patient. You'll find your soul. I can't remember all the lyrics. I was trying to remember them, and so I play this song. So I whip out my phone. I play this song. Motherfucker was right. God damn, dude. Talk about foreshadowing. If you listen to the beginning of the song, I'm listening to the Shinedown version, but you listen to the beginning of the song, that was me at the time. Holy shit, right? And as it progresses through the lyrics of the song, this is me now. I found true love. I would make my mom proud at this point in my life. So kudos to you, my man, Smitty. I hope everything is going well. I do see some stuff on Facebook. You got some beautiful sons. God bless you. But yeah, so music. Y'all got crazy stories about music. I know you do. Would I love to hear from you? Absolutely. Drop comments in this or send me a DM on the gram. Drop us a note on the website. Doesn't matter, man. I want to hear stories about you and music. Drop them. Let me know. That'd be great. Love to hear them, good or bad. If it's a bad one, it brings up a bad memory or it helped you through a bad time. Obviously, there's tons of stories of that, but let me hear them. Let's hear the stories about how music keeps your soul on fire and feeds your soul. Let's hear it. All right. I'm going to get you out of here because I know you got the shit to do. Again, I know this space is crazy crowded. Much love for you taking the time out of your day and spending it with me. Much appreciated. But don't forget the 3 companies. Links are in the show notes. Composure, High Speed Daddy, Live Rishi, and of course, fuck, dude, my website. Don't forget me. And then, you know what? Don't act cool. Be cool. Keep kicking ass. Until next time.